Although it's been said that man cannot live by bread alone, with the exception of feasts and other special celebrations where meat was served, that is exactly what most poor Jews did during the time of Christ. Now, a lot of different grains were grown for baking in the Middle East, but common folks lived on barley bread, okay? Barley is hardy, it can tolerate a wide range of climatic conditions, and it yields well, which is why poor people planted it. Now, if you read John 6, you'll see that the 5 loaves that Jesus used to feed the multitudes were barley loaves. And according to our research, this is what those loaves looked like. First, you have to grind the grain into meal or flour. Now, every morning, except on the Sabbath, the woman of the house would rise and grind by hand for a couple of hours. If a fine bread for guests was desired, it could take twice as long. Good for upper body development, by the way. Luckily, we have mechanical means to do this kind of thing. After grinding or milling, the meal was then kneaded with water, some salt, and a little piece of dough held out from the day before. This would be full of natural yeast that could multiply and give off carbon dioxide, thus raising or leavening the bread. Now, we don't have access to those particular yeast cultures, and our commercial yeasts are specifically bred to dine on wheat. So what we are going to do is add a shot of barley syrup to this mix, just to give those little bugs a boost, so to speak. After mixing, the dough would have to be kneaded until it was completely smooth. This will take about, 30 or 45 minutes. But hey, when I'm done, I'll have finished my ab work for the day, as well as my cardio. After kneading, the dough was covered and set in a warm spot to rise for a few hours. Then it was typically shaped into loaves, 7 inches long by 3 inches wide and about 1 inch thick. Next up, baking. Now, most ovens back then were jar type or bowl ovens, which we have replicated with an upside down flower pot with the bottom cut out. Now, the fire was set down inside, made up of twigs, grass, dung, sometimes anything flammable. We opted for charcoal, all out of dung. When the ceramic walls were good and hot, say around 600 degrees, the dough was moistened and then slapped right onto the walls of the cooker. I don't know if they had any big red gloves, but they sure do help. Here we go. Just push it right onto the wall. There. All right, when they were done, generally the bread would either fall off of the side of the oven or the baker would just kind of knock it off right into the fire, right on top of the coals where it would finish browning. There we go. So here we have 5 humble but tasty barley Bible loaves. Oh, and of course, a couple of fish just to complete the platter. There. You know, this type of nourishment can only keep the human body going. To keep the human soul going, well, that requires a very different kind of feed. Brian, that one's up to you. Me, I'm gonna go find some butter.